to you live from her super secret TV station on a pirate UHF signal. The femme fatale felonious flicks, the Blockbuster Buster, movies to the max.
Greetings, dudes and dudettes. I'm Una, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. So what is the worst way to follow up one of the best horror films of all times with a totally bogus sequel?
Not radical.
This movie is lame to the max. Freddy is barely in it. There's no dream sequences. And where's our most bodacious babe, Nancy? Our most excellent hero was replaced with a total dweeb. And you totally know what that means.
A must bust.
Totally busted.
Wait, stop.
Another thing.
Why are you showing me some old 80s video?
That's her. That's Una St. James, the original Blockbuster Buster.
This ditzy valley girl? What makes you think she's the one that's been sabotaging you?
Jarvis said that whomever was impersonating Lorelei was getting her messages to me using a UHF signal.
So?
So that's how Una used to transmit her episodes to her fans.
What?
Back in the 80s, there was no internet, so Una would produce the Blockbuster Buster independently from her own studio, then transmit the episodes illegally using a pirate signal. So every Sunday at 7 p.m., if you turn your TV to channel 1 into the UHF frequency, you could watch brand new episodes of the Blockbuster Buster. I loved this when I was a kid. I used to record every episode. I grew up idolizing her. Never in a million years could I imagine that I would inherit her mantle.
Well, apparently now, she wants to disinherit you. I've been doing some digging. She's been saying some nasty things about you on some really old forums.
Like what?
It's the same belligerent bullshit that you usually get from trolls, but her running theme seems to be that you don't deserve to be the Blockbuster Buster. Okay, I got 2 questions. Number 1, what's with the yo-yo?
Oh, it's the hammer. A Blockbuster Buster channels his or her power through what we call a channeler, which changes shapes depending on who wields it. For Una, it was a yo-yo because she was a huge fan of Princess from G-Force. For me, it became a hammer because of all the blue-collar jobs I had before I became the Blockbuster Buster. But apparently it's been around for generations, being passed from person to person. And there's even a rumor going around that at some point it was both Excalibur and Mjolnir.
Okay, now for my second question. If Una was so great, why did she lose the mantle of the Blockbuster Buster?
Oh, she went after Steven Spielberg. Yeah, apparently she took issue with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and forgot the #1 rule of being the Blockbuster Buster. You only use your powers to bust movies, not people. Unless they come after you first and you're forced to defend yourself.
Well, it looks like before this is over, you will have to defend yourself. But for now, there is a bad movie on my floor, and you need to get to work. I'll keep digging. I'll text you if I learn anything.
Well, you heard the boss, lady. It's time to do what I do best and bust the band. Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm Erodin of the Blockbuster Buster. You know one thing that I don't miss about the 90s? Baywatch! I want to say that this was an outlandish TV show about disproportionately attractive lifeguards who fought crime. But the fact of the matter is that what the show was truly about was boobs. Oh, I'm sorry, that was terribly crass of me. What I meant to say was that what this show was truly about was boobs in slow motion. Long before you could look up pictures of your favorite centerfold on your phone at any given time, if you wanted to see really hot people in very little clothing, Baywatch was your only option. And I know what you're thinking. Erod. That sounds like a dumb, vapid, superficial show. There's no way it could have lasted. It went on for 11 seasons, 2 made-for-TV movies, and a spin-off. Not to mention, it launched the careers of many actors, like Jasmine Bleeth, Jason Momoa, and of course, Pamela Anderson. And it also revitalized the careers of many other actors, like Carmen Electra and Michael Knight himself, David Hasselhoff. For those of you who like to make fun of modern dumb TV shows like The Vampire Diaries or Riverdale, trust me, those are educational programming compared to Baywatch. Its longevity and success defy all logic. If you want to experience the full stupidity of this terrible TV show, I highly recommend you check out Obscurus Lupa's Baywatching videos. Trust me when I say the riffing writes itself. So now, without further ado, let's take a look at the big budget boner that Hollywood produced. So our movie begins with a dude windsurfing, when suddenly he loses control, hits his head, and finds himself in need of rescuing. I wonder who they're gonna get to play David Hasselhoff's character, Mitch Buchanan. They would have to get somebody with limited acting skill who largely gets by on charming charisma alone, but where are they gonna find a guy like that?
If you smell
Oh no.
what the Rock
Oh, fuck bunnies.
is cooking.
Does God hate me? That's right, The Rock is playing Mitch Buchanan. And yes, I will still be referring to him as The Rock in this video. The day that he can play anything other than himself is the day that I will refer to him by his actual character's name. And for those of you who take issue with me constantly making fun of The Rock, as I am recording this, he is the highest paid actor in the world. So I'm sure that no matter what I say in this video, he will sleep soundly at night on a bed made of money next to his supermodel girlfriend. Yup. He makes more money than Robert Downey Jr. and Meryl Streep. Try to process that in your brain for a minute. So we cut to a sequence of The Rock patrolling the beach at the beginning of his shift. Now, it's been a while since I've actually seen Baywatch, but if I'm remembering the show's formula correctly, the characters would only do actual lifeguard stuff for about 5 minutes, and then would stumble onto a serious crime right about...
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, can I see that? Where'd you get this?
Right there.
Right there, huh? Is he the only one? All right.
Hey, it might be stupid, but at least it's accurate to the source material. But The Rock has no time to look for clues, as Team Baywatch just so happens to be recruiting new lifeguards that day.
It's that time again, you better get ready, we gon' run the race. Another season of American Ninja Warriors underway.
Why is the obstacle course from American Ninja Warrior part of the tryouts?
Problem is, that's not the course.
That's not the course?
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over to the real course.
Oh, good, because that would have been ridiculous. Now let's take a look at the real obstacle course. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, you know, because of all the drowning refrigerators. Anywho, let's meet the 3 new recruits who were selected after the tryouts. First, we have Ronnie, a shy stereotypical fat nerd who has a crush on CJ, the character Pamela Anderson used to play in the original series. Most people felt that Ronnie was an offensive stereotype of your standard Baywatch viewer from the 90s. Look, there is absolutely nothing wrong with a bit of light parroting.
You okay?
Okay.
That is not how you give the Heimlich maneuver.
Oh, thank you!
It's like your dick is trapped between 2 slats of wood.
He got his erect penis stuck between 2 planks on a bench. He got his wood stuck in wood. This is a joke in this movie.
Don't you touch my dick, I'm okay!
Okay, I'm starting to see why some folks found this character offensive. The second new recruit is Summer, played by Alexandra Daddario, who is the only actor that I legitimately feel bad for being in this movie, as she is actually very talented, but has the worst luck in the world, as she has the knack for starring in lots of movies that I have busted. And to make matters worse, in this movie she's been reduced to playing the Fry. the forced romantic interest.
Do you have time to study later?
Yeah. Do you just look at my boobs?
I was not my intention. I didn't stare directly at them.
You're looking at them right now.
Now I did. Because you were talking about them.
Testing. Oh, failed.
You know what? They're still more romantic than these two assholes. And last but not least, we have our third and final recruit, Matt Brody, played by Zac Efron, a former Olympic swimmer who hit rock bottom. Wait, rock bottom?
I understood that reference.
Due to Brody's celebrity status, The Rock is forced to add him to the team. And because The Rock sees him as nothing more than an entitled, spoiled prick, he constantly disrespects him and calls him names.
Hey, High School Musical.
I understood that reference.
Whoa. What? Very important lesson. That is the devil's urchin. One prick out of that thing will give you enough adrenaline to choke out a pissed off bull. The only problem is, after that, you say some crazy ass shit and then you fucking die.
Important plot point. After a very awkward training montage, the main villainess of the movie drives up to the beach and introduces herself to our heroes. And she's there because the writers of this movie are lazy and they couldn't come up with a more creative way to introduce the villain. Hello, my name is Iniga Montoya. I will kill this performance, so prepare to cry. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go. I am also playing the villain on a telenovela called Destinos. Adios! No time to properly establish characters as Team Baywatch gets a distress call from a burning boat just off the coast. Oh my god, what are they going to do?
And please understand that fireworks are not toys. Never ever play around with them.
Think like a rescue hero.
Think safe.
Our heroes manage to save all but one of the boat's passengers, who they suspect was already dead before the fire started. They also suspect that the bad lady killed him, because she's the only villain that lives on the beach, I guess? So they infiltrate one of her parties so they can search her house for evidence. But first, they need a distraction.
Hit it.
In the line, to the lean, the front, credit cards and the scams, ain't no licks in the van, legacies, family, ain't sitting like a plan, going out like a Montana, the killers on the hand, legacies, family.
Don't worry, I've seen enough movies to know this is the part where the audience thinks it was all part of the show and loves it.
Move this man!
So after whatever the hell that was, our heroes find nothing! Which not only means that this scene was pointless, but that we sat through this for nothing! Thank you, movie! In desperate need of more clues, the gang goes to the morgue to examine the body of the dead councilman they found on the burning boat. What? They're lifeguards! It's hard enough to buy them doing detective work, but now they're doing forensic science? How much could they possibly know about that field of study?
Oh, dude. I need you to check his taint for needle marks. You want me to check his taint?
Yup, that's right. We spend the next minute of this movie watching Zac Efron fondle a dead man's undercarriage.
I don't know, man. There's a big something. There's something. Oh, there is a hole. That's just his butthole.
Smile.
Yup, this is a joke in this movie. More than one person thought that this would be a funny thing that everyone would enjoy seeing. Oh, that pain again. Why does that keep happening? I have to figure out what's going on. Hey, Dr. Effect. Are you there?
Back up, Martha. Back in your cage, Martha. Come on. Martha, back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. At this rate, I'm never gonna finish my lion launcher. Oh, hey, Rod.
Hey, Doc. Listen, some kind of mystical force is hurting me. I've taken some readings of myself, but I can't figure out what's wrong with me. Would you mind putting these readings through your instruments to see if I missed anything?
All right. 1 second, let me see. I don't really see any... Wait, hold on.
What?
Your power levels, they're 30% lower than usual.
What? That's impossible! I've been busting movies and fulfilling my duties as the Blockbuster Buster. There's no reason for my power levels to be going down.
Well, something somehow is siphoning out your power slowly. One second, let me do a more advanced scan so we can figure out who's doing this to you. Nurse! Bring me my nuclear power spectrometer!
Thank you for doing this. I mean, it's already bad enough that I'm having to review the Baywatch movie.
Oh, Baywatch? Always hated how the creators exploited women in their bodies. Well, where's my nuclear spectrometer? Well, I know where it is, woman. I can't reach it. You know, and then they would just put them in demeaning situations, put their bodies all out there for the sea. It was just disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting. They should be ashamed.
Yeah, ashamed. Well, it's about time, woman. Well, careful with that thing. I don't want to get radiation burns.
Whoa! Hot Belgian waffles!
Oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just need a burn word. Maybe 2 burn words. And aloe. Lots and lots of aloe. I gotta go.
Dr. Effect? Dr. Effect! Oh. So after fondling a dead man's deadites, bad guys show up to collect any incriminating evidence that might lead to the bad lady. This leads to an altercation, which then leads to a chase, which culminates in a ridiculous fight scene in a baby's room. SpongeBob? Why did they reference SpongeBob? He has nothing to do with... Oh, that's right! David Hasselhoff did a cameo in the first SpongeBob movie. Right. Yeah, sticking a beloved children's character in an R-rated movie, probably not the best idea. I mean, they use a lot of 4-letter words in this movie, and you would never catch SpongeBob using that kind of language.
Hey, Patrick, how the are ya?
Pretty good, SpongeBob.
In spite of their best crime-fighting efforts and mastery of disguises, you get it? The Rock is disguised as a cook because his catchphrase is, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Ha 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 ha. In spite of all that, their captain is not happy with Team Baywatch.
You don't do investigations. You're lifeguards. Police do investigations. When you do it, it's just a bunch of guys investigating another bunch of guys.
You know, it's sad that it took them 11 seasons to make for TV movies a spin-off and a feature-length film to make that realization. To make matters worse, while our heroes were out trying to bust a drug lord, they left the beach unguarded, and a dead man washed up on the beach. Now, this dead guy was actually killed by the bad lady, but that's besides the point. Due to The Rock's gross negligence, Captain Thorpe has no choice but to fire him, and thus, our hero has to get a job with Sprint. Wait, what? You are built like a Sherman tank. Your muscles have muscles. Don't you think there might just be another job that you might be suited for in the meantime? So The Rock peddles iPhones and call plans to the best of his abilities until he's visited by a blast from the past. And for the record, David Hasselhoff is also playing Mitch Buchanan. Some of you might call this a paradox, I call it lazy writing.
Do I look like a tiny little asshole next to him?
Yeah, you do. So The Rock goes back to Team Baywatch unofficially, and for the second time in this movie, they go undercover to one of the bad ladies' parties. Really? The same plan. Again. It's okay. She's just a professional drug lord. It's not like she's gonna have some kind of a contingency in place to get rid of people who threaten her very illegal business.
Let's go, boys.
You have to listen to me.
Have a nice swim.
And there it goes. But it's okay. Summer jumps in after Brody and saves him by romantically giving him CPR underwater. Okay, I'll admit it. That was funny. So our heroes go after the bad guys who suddenly remember that they have guns but completely forgot how to aim them. Which begs the question, what was Team Baywatch's plan here? How were they intending to defend themselves? Were they gonna throw their flip-flops at them?
Fire!
Fireworks. Suddenly, they just so happened to have fireworks. You know, I was gonna make a joke about how this was a shitty Home Alone ending, but that's not a fair comparison. In Home Alone, Kevin prepared and set up traps for the wet bandits, which at least justifies the outlandish nature of that movie's climax. Here, these assholes just show up and there just so happen to be fireworks, and oh my god, I'm seriously overthinking this. Oh no, not that great actor who's worth every penny. But it's okay, that ultra-quick random plot point comes back into play, as The Rock gets stung by a poisonous sea urchin, and it gives him the adrenaline to save Brody and beat the bad lady.
I'm oceanic, motherfucker.
How tacky.
You know, Brody did knock the gun out of her hands, so you just blew up an unarmed woman. What a great ending! And so, thank God, our movie ends. The Rock gets an ultra-convenient antidote for the sea urchin poison, the police thank the lifeguards for doing their job, Pamela Anderson makes a pointless and unfunny cameo, and then our heroes remind us what this franchise is all about, by running down the beach in slow motion in skimpy bathing suits. Wait, whatever became of Brody and Summer, did they ever get together?
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh my god, did you just look at my dick?
Still more romantic than Twilight. This movie is... You know what? I'm not gonna waste any astonishingly awesome and astute alliteration on this one. This movie just sucks! I appreciate that the film is self-aware and it makes fun of most of Baywatch's most ridiculous tropes, but the humor is tasteless and sophomoric, and the majority of the characters are abrasive and unlikable, making it impossible to root for them. This movie is like American Pie fucked Police Academy and slipped on a Baywatch skin. And if that sounds unappealing, that's because it is. I am not surprised that this movie was both a financial and critical bomb, because it is that bad. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna lay the smack down on this movie's candy ass.
Enrichment! Backing up! Oh no! And here it comes! Don't tell me! I think we're at... Oh, there go the sunglasses! The people's sunglasses! It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment today! Oh, the people... Oh! An exclamation point! The people...
There it goes again! But I busted a movie last time and I didn't feel this pain, so what was different about this time?
Sir, are you okay?
No, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that we get ready for Una, so when she makes her move, she won't catch us unprepared.
How's that for a move?
Hey yo, this video is old. If you want to see brand new episodes of the Blockbuster Buster, go to dailymotion.com/blockbusterbuster. And if you want to join the Legion of Badassitude, hit that subscribe/follow button. And join the Legion, suckers! Nice!